Guys, if you're trying to use Market Cipher and you're just not having success with the momentum waves, you think you know what's going to happen, and then the opposite thing happens and you get stopped out, etc., then this is absolutely the video for you. In the last video, we talked about how you can use the money flow to filter out the false moves. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about how you can use the momentum wave to filter out the false moves. And the way that we're going to do that is by identifying each wave as either a significant wave or an insignificant wave. If you've been around the channel, if you've been around my live streams, you've definitely heard me use this terminology. First things first, Geo, what even are significant waves? Well, there are different types of them, and we're going to go over them in this video. However, I think it's important to note that they are all waves that do something, okay? They have a purpose. They do something relative to price. And so when we identify what each one is, I'm going to then right after explain what they do and why it works. Remember, I teach you guys why the market moves the way that it does. I don't just say long every green dot, for example. BitBoy. Okay, so the first significant wave that we are going to look at is just an extremely overbought or oversold wave, okay? You can see here on January the 24th, Bitcoin 15-minute time frame, we have a red dot all the way up at 97, okay? The value on the right side here is 97. The highest it can go is 100, okay? So this is very much so overbought, and this is what CryptoFace and our friends at Market Cipher will call the anchor wave, okay? Now, there is some subjectivity to it. It doesn't need to be between X value and this value, no, but use your discretion and understand where that wave is relative to its previous waves. So would this be a significant wave? Not necessarily. Yes, it's over the 60 line, and yes, our friends at Market Cipher may call this an anchor wave, but I probably would not consider this to be a significant wave. You can use your discretion with it. Now, why do I want to see such an overbought wave, okay? Even with other indicators like the RSI, people say things are overbought, things are oversold, and nobody seems to define what the purpose is. I want to illustrate a picture for you, and I've talked about this before, but I want you guys to think of a ceiling for the highs, and I want you to think of a trampoline for the lows. Why do I want to see these significant waves? Well, the higher you are, as soon as you touch the ceiling, there is no more higher you can go. You have a long ways to fall, okay? There is a lot more time between this wave and our next potential green wave to come than this wave, for example, because this wave is basically at the exact ceiling. So think of gravity, and when you fall, if you fall from the exact high, you fall the entire floor. But if you only fall from halfway or 60% of the way, then you only fall 60% of the way. I hope I'm making sense with that, okay? Alternatively, when you're at the lows, I want you to think of a trampoline. When you are extremely oversold like we are here, you have a lot more room to the upside. You have all this time and all this momentum that can be gained to the upside, so you can jump very high on the trampoline and potentially make your way back up to the ceiling. So this guy and this guy are absolutely significant waves. By the way, guys, these two green dots do not count as two waves. This is one significant wave. And as we learned in the last video, Geo, what about the thicker the money flow, the more chance of divergences? If you stick around till later in the video, we're going to be talking about what you can do with this kind of significant wave. So make sure to watch till the end. Okay, so these waves did something. We had a ceiling, which you can fall very far from, and you had a trampoline, which you can jump very high from. Cool. The next type of significant wave is another wave that does something, which is a regular divergence. We've talked about in a previous video how we are trying to identify when they shut the jets off of the rocket, right? The market moves in momentum, it moves in an oscillation, and it does not just go straight up and straight down. It takes time, and it takes time to curve. When we are trying to identify the divergences, we are looking for them to cut the engines off here of the rocket. The rocket is going to continue its merrily way up, because as soon as a rocket is going in the air and you shut the engines off, hello, inertia, it keeps going higher until it climaxes, and then it falls, and we're trying to identify that. So your divergence waves are absolutely waves of significance. They are doing something. They are providing us with the clue that momentum might be switching. And by the way, guys, just in case you don't know what a divergence is, it is where your oscillator, in this case Market Cipher V, is making a lower low. However, price is diverging by making a higher high, okay? It is not lining up with our indicator, and this is indicating a loss of momentum. All right, now the next type of significant wave is kind of like the previous one, but it is hidden divergences. It is where your price is making a higher high, but your momentum waves are diverging by making a lower low. And the reason why this wave is significant is because it implies a continuation. But now watch this, guys. Money flow is thick in the red. The number one rule is the thicker the money flow, the more chances of divergences. However, what do we have here? We have two levels of significance on this wave. We have a hidden divergence, as we indicated, and we have a very oversold wave here in that these green dots came in at minus 80, okay? So we got 2 times the significance, and look at what happened. Bam, off to the races to the upside. So when this happens, you have to tell yourself we have a hidden divergence, which is a continuation. We have a very oversold wave, which gives us a lot of room to jump on the trampoline. And if you want to take it a little step further, which we're not going to really go too much in detail, you got hidden divergences with money flow as well. This was a long every single day of the week. And the last type of significant wave, guys, is, the thicker the money flow, the more chance of divergences. I've said it 10 million times. And so when you have thick money flow, as we do, the 1 is significant because we are identifying that, okay, we might get our 1, 2, 3 tap. The 2 is significant because the 2 must be diverging from the 1. And then the 3 is significant because the 3 is where we actually are looking to enter. So all 3 of these waves are technically significant waves. However, we are really shooting to enter in on the 3 count. And if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, I have a previous video. I will put a little link on the top right. Go watch it. If you're looking to purchase Market Cipher, my link is also in the description down below. And you can use the discount code Trader Geo. And of course, guys, anybody that helps support me, I very much appreciate you. Thank you very much for allowing me to continue making content for you. Geo, I swear you covered every single possible wave. How could there possibly be any other wave that is insignificant? We're going to play a little bit of a game. On screen right now, there is an insignificant wave. I'm going to wait 2 seconds, and I'm going to see if you can identify it. Pause it if you need to. Okay, are we good? Guys, I'm about to break your heart. The insignificant wave here is not the anchor wave, is the trigger wave. Geo, we were taught that the momentum is heading down. This is the time to short. I'm going to make this very simple for everybody to understand. What was the very first sentence I said in this video? Your significant waves have to do something. This anchor wave did something. This is our ceiling. We have a lot of room that we can fall. This trigger wave didn't do anything. There is no divergence. There is no hidden divergence. This did not do anything. But not only that, this wave is not above the 60 line, and it's not even close to being at like 95, 90 or anything to be considered a significant wave. Guys, this is how you are going to spot the fake moves. In addition to the fact that money flow is getting thicker, and we know the thicker the money flow, the more chances of divergences, ask yourself, when you see these waves, did this wave do anything? I don't want you guys to just look at the momentum and say, oh, momentum is going down, we have a red dot. This is why I look around, guys. I look around, and there are so many people that have no idea how to use Market Cipher. And it's because nobody is teaching it the way that I'm teaching it. I guarantee you, none of this is anywhere else on YouTube. So make sure you subscribe and like the video while you're down there. And since we're on this frame, let's talk about this one, because this wave was a significant wave. It did something, right? We had a nice divergence. This guy did not do anything, and that's why if you shorted on this red dot thinking, oh, we have an anchor trigger wave, it's going down, you would have gotten destroyed. Look at this wave here. Did it do anything? Always ask yourself, guys, what did the wave do? Yes, it did. We have a nice divergence. This is a significant wave. This guy is not. It is as good as erasing it. You don't even need to look at it. Pretend it's not even there. It is insignificant. And then we know the thicker the money flow, the more chances of divergences. Sure enough, although it is a significant wave, we had our other divergence right there, and then down we go. Okay, so voila. Okay, now earlier in the video, I told you that later I'd be telling you how you can approach these waves and how to think about it. And since you stayed till the end, I'm going to keep my end of the bargain of it. If you haven't been on my channel before, you haven't heard me talk about this before, I'm about to blow your minds. This is a concept that I speak of in my Market Cipher B and Timeframes bootcamp, okay? It is a premium product. However, I promise you, it is the most comprehensive, most difficult, most confusing 4 hours of your life, but you will get so much information, and this is just one of the things that I teach. So listen up. We just went over significant waves versus insignificant waves. It is important to understand that your insignificant waves may still produce a move for you, but it is important to know where they are in the cycle of time. Market Cipher B, price, and everything else is an oscillator. Time is an oscillator. The 1 hour moves like this. The 4 hour moves 4 times as slow as the 1 hour, etc. If you ever find yourself in a position where you're at an insignificant wave, which this isn't because there is a divergence. However, what we know is the thicker the money flow, the more chances of divergences. You need to understand the fact that this wave here still produced a 5% move to the downside, but it produced just that. All this wave did was make a higher low for then a higher high. And you need to be able to identify that we are just in this little leg of it. We are just here. So nobody should be shooting for zero, shorting this red dot here, because we understand that an insignificant wave is essentially just setting up the significant wave, okay? It's like volleyball when the second person hits it and then the third person jumps and spikes it down. That's what this wave is. This wave is setting the ball up for this wave to spike his ass down, okay? Am I making sense to you? I hope that made sense. When you are at an insignificant wave, if price is doing this and making higher highs, higher lows, for example, if you're at an insignificant wave, you're just here. Hey, you need to understand that you are at the wave that will put in, for example, in this case, the higher low, to then send price to the higher high, in which case here is your significant wave, and here is where we spike the ball all the way down. And this is the wave that might take you down to the trampoline, and you might get a big bounce off that trampoline because you fell so high from the sky. This kind of looks like a volleyball. Look at that. But the most important thing, guys, is none of this would make any sense to you if you didn't see my last video, so go click right here. Did you click yet?